2022 has been one of the craziest years ever when looking at the stock market. And it is no secret that we're on the edge of a complete financial collapse, with trillions of dollars already been wiped away, even though it doesn't sound very promising. Well, then could this also be the opportunity of a lifetime to build wealth and set yourself up for the future? Because right now it is one of the easiest time ever to increase your net worth if you know what you're doing. There is a popular saying that most millionaires are made in recessions, and there are numerous examples of people who have done this by following simple strategies. There's also a quote from the best investor ever, Warren Buffett, who basically said that be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And this quote is one of the most popular financial quotes in the world for a reason. And by following the simple strategies that I'm about to share with you today, well, then you might be able to set yourself up for financial success. So let's talk about what is actually going on and then talk about why this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Today, more than 9 out of 10 CEOs are preparing for a recession. 97% of all CFOs are cutting costs by 10%. And according to one of the largest banks in the world, JP Morgan, then could the stock market easily fall by another 10 to 20%. And that is a lot, especially when considering that the S&P 500 index is already down by more than 20% year to date. The Nasdaq 100 index is down by more than 30% year to date. And the Stoxx 600, which is an index covering the majority of larger European companies, is now down by more than 16% year to date. All of these indexes combined covers a very large proportion of the total stock market. And when all of them are down by close to 20%, well, then it is safe to say that this year has been really bad when looking at the stock market. Even though all of that sounds really negative, then the fact is that recessions happens on a regular basis. And if used correctly, it becomes possible to set yourself up financially for the rest of your life due to all of the incredible opportunities that always comes with a recession. So let's talk about what is about to happen within the next 12 months and then how you can take advantage of the current situation. But before we go any further, I would like to say that making a video like this one takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So if you actually like today's video, then please press the like button below the video and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one in the future. With that being said, then let's move on. When a recession comes, there are always certain things that happen, like a significant rise in unemployment, a drop in wages since companies are now cutting costs to the bare minimum. People are losing faith in the economy, and there is always a significant decline in the financial markets. Sometimes these effects are long-lasting, and they will very often spread to the rest of the world. Another thing that usually comes with a recession is a decline in earnings. Every quarter the companies are reporting their revenue, and along with that, well, then they're also giving a forecast on how they expect things to look in the future. And right now there's a lot of companies who's changing their forecast because they actually right now believe that they're going to earn less than what they predicted a year ago. And some of these companies are even expecting negative growth. Companies are right now changing their forecasts at the fastest pace within the last 10 years. When companies are expecting a negative growth, it is usually because the consumers are not buying as much as they used to or are expected to. What companies then do is to reduce their cost to the bare minimum in order to minimize their losses. And what they very often tend to do is to fire people, since the activity has now declined and they might not need as many people as they did before. And the fact is that companies have already started to fire a lot of people, but the situation is about to become much worse, according to the Bank of America, because they just released a report saying that they are expecting 175,000 jobs per month to be lost. And now let's talk about how you can actually use the current situation to make profits, because that is actually possible even though the current situation is looking really bad. But it requires that you know what you're doing. This recession could in fact be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Just consider this. First, everything becomes less expensive. A lot of people are considering this to be a bad time to buy because they see the stock market fall all the time. But the rich people are looking at this situation completely different. They're basically seeing this as a big opportunity to buy into the market and buy more stocks and setting themselves up for even greater success in the future. Because right now all the stocks are trading at a discount. Just think about it. It is the exact same thing when you go to the grocery store. You would rather buy things that are at a discount because you're saving money. It is the exact same thing with the stock market. But instead of saving money, well, then you're actually making money. So use the falling stock prices to your advantage. The second thing is there is now less competition. When times are bad, companies scale back. They cut their production, they cut their cost, and they try to minimize their losses, and they're basically trying to play the situation safe. But when companies are doing this, they're basically investing less money and they're being less innovative. And this basically opens the door for a lot of smaller companies to come into the market and take some of their market share. One study across 16,000 companies found that those who continued to advertise increased their value. And they even started to grow in recessions and after recessions as well. Third, there is more opportunities. A recession is basically a reset of the entire economy. And with that comes a lot of new opportunities. There's always a lot of companies going bankrupt in recessions, both small and big companies. And this always opens up the playing field for both small and new companies. It is usually very, very hard for a smaller company to enter a new market. But when a recession comes, it becomes so much easier for these companies to enter the markets and to grow and expand their businesses. Fourth, after every bear market comes a bull market. According to a study made by Yahoo Finance, then the S&P 500 index is falling by an average of 29% in every recession. But once the stocks have reached this point, then the average return the following year is more than 40%. And within 2 years, the market has increased by more than 58%. This essentially means that investing when the market is falling is much more profitable than waiting until things recover and then invest. And in the long term, the markets have always recovered and they have always reached an all-new time high after every single recession. So why should it be different this time? I'm personally going to invest whatever I can into the market because I see this as a very, very big opportunity that I need to take advantage of. That was all I had in today's video. Thank you for watching the video, and if you actually liked the video, then please press the like button below and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one in the future. See you in the next one.